Mio, Mio, guten Tag, hello, welcome, how are you? Welcome back to my lectures of my book, IT ERP Projects, 33 Years of Experience, 99 Thoughts, 66 Minutes to Read. Today, as always, lecture of my chapter, and then some detailed explanations, what I want to say with it. As always, no AI, uncut, straightforward, no special preparation, just me, the camera, you, no fake, no nothing, just an honest view on my experiences, what I think. If you want to catch me up, ping me on LinkedIn, my email, on my website, let me know what you think, and we can discuss. So today it's thought number 9. This system even does not have an invoice layout. One of the comments I often had about IT system is the ability to generate a desired output print file format. Most of the time it's either about finance KPI reporting or any need to look nice output like sales invoices or purchase orders. This goes back to the standard topics we just had last week, even though there's a general expectation about the outcome of an item on stock list, something like item name, item number, quantity on stock, value should be on it. Most companies have their additional requirement due to their structure. So the general expectation is not wrong, but is also not sufficiently right. If at one point of time someone from finance complains, this invoice looks crap and is not standard, send them to their office, picking up 5 invoices from 5 vendors, and then they shall explain what a standard invoice looks like. So, what did I want to say with that part? Well, most of the larger systems where we deal, and here and especially with ERP systems, they have for most problems a output, screen display, file format, paper, exchange, whatever, which is to an abstract what you need, but not necessarily what you want or what you expect. Let's go to the example for the invoice. What is on an invoice and what is needed? I think we all agree, typically on an invoice, we have the vendor account, your company account, you have the item or the service that is sold, the quantity, the price per quantity, the total value, the value without VAT, the VAT calculated, and the total value of the invoice, and maybe your bank account number or any payment informations. That's roughly what it is, a date and due date. That's roughly what it is on an invoice. But where to put this information? If it's double bold, triple bold, italic, if the sales customer is on the upper left or lower right, there is no standard definition. Or if you need to have a 500 lines item description or just screw or bottle, and that's enough, that is your decision or decision of your business case and not from a system. So if you take, for instance, 5 invoices from 5 different vendors and you compare them, and you will see that they all look different. There is no standard invoice. There's just a common agreement, item, quantity, price without VAT, total amount, due date, bank information, some address and date. But where to put them, how to put them, all that is more or less free. There are countries who put your address on the upper right, on the upper left, but there is no, or very, very few, part by law like the VAT. That is typically something by law, which is expected, or some VAT number or any registration numbers there, but the rest is more or less your definition. And that goes also to the other outputs which you need for your daily work, like stock item list or stock on hands list. What does it need to look like? Well, you need your item number, you need the quantity, and the place in stock. That is the basic information. The item name is also something nice, but then it comes to your business. Do you have batches? Then maybe the batch number is important. Do you need, for any reason, a kind of expiry date? Then it's also important for you, but for other businesses not. Do you need other information, maybe about dangerosity or weight? Because you need to transport the material afterwards, or the physical size. That is also something which one company needs and the other one not. So what is the basic expectation on that list? Item number, item name, quantity, stock place. That's it. That's the basics. And everything else is your custom part. And that goes through all of the reports, all of the output files, or all of the screen designs on the system. It is made from one, I don't like the word common sense, so from one interpretation, what the minimum part of information the vendor thinks is needed to fulfill the duty. But that does not necessarily need to fit your requirements, and this is where you and your partners have to work on it to either understand if you need to increase the information, expand it, or potentially even can decrease to make it more readable, or really put it into something like corporate identity alignment so that the output, the logo and everything is aligned with the other documents. This is all nice part. From the functional perspective, in the basics, it's not needed. And this is why the vendor cannot provide a stock list with all the 500 potential information, because 99% of the customers do not need 500 fields, only 10 of that, but 10 different ones. So don't judge the first time you look on a screen, oh, that screen is crappy, we need to put that field here and that field there and that this here, because otherwise it's not readable. Try to understand what is the logic behind. Why did it place it? Often, with a screen design, for instance, did it put it in a kind of order? When you follow that order or the screen design, it makes sense for that tool, which for another tool maybe does not make sense. And if you think about outputs like invoices, purchase orders, stock lists, ledger transactions, if you don't find your information, first of all, think, is the information you need really needed for that case? Or is it a very special task? And if it is needed for a case, then you need to expand it. But be careful. If you make a sales order overview, putting on the purchase orders because you want to make a relation with a purchase order and a sales order can create confusions and missing links. So be aware what you do. A standard or the basics, what is delivered, is just a view from the developers or from one vendor, and it does not necessarily reflect your requirements and not necessarily speak about the quality if the invoice, which is printed out from an ERP system without changing, does look, let's say, crappy. Okay? So don't judge about what you see the first time. Think what information is there. Think which information you need and which, for any reason, you think you need, but in the end, you don't need it. Okay? That's all for now. Goodbye. Adele. Meow, meow.